are going to be working on conflict resolution. So getting along with one another, making sure we can work in a group. So the first thing that we're going to do, this is going to be kind of like a pre-test, okay? But I'm not actually doing it, okay? This is just for my own knowledge. So we're just going to play a little true and false game. So I'm going to say a statement, and I want you to put thumbs up if you think it's true, thumbs down if you think it's false. Okay? This is going to be kind of quick. So conflict is bad.
I don't know what conflict is.
Okay, you don't know what conflict is. So conflict is when you are having a problem between two or more people. Okay, so some kind of difference, maybe you guys don't agree on something, maybe you might be arguing about something. So conflict is a bad thing. Okay, so this one is kind of a trick question. Okay, conflict is false. Okay, conflict isn't necessarily a bad thing. Okay, if everybody agreed with one another, that's just not realistic, right? You guys all have your own opinions. You're not always going to agree with someone. Okay, so it's not a bad thing, but it's a bad thing when we don't deal with it in a healthy way. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
So today we're really going to work on dealing with conflict in a healthy way because it's okay. Okay, even when I'm talking, like even with my friends or my brother and sister, I don't get along with them all the time, or I don't agree with what they say. But I do know how to handle conflict in a healthy way so we don't end up having like a knockdown, drag out fight. That would not be good, right? That can get you in a lot of trouble. Okay, so what about, let's see. It's best to solve a conflict when you're angry. Is that true or false? It's best to solve a conflict when you're angry. Okay, good. So I'm glad a lot of you guys are saying no. Okay, when you are angry and in a conflict, you might accidentally say things that you don't mean, right? Okay, I know when I was younger and I used to get into like arguments with my brother and sister, sometimes I would say things that were not very good, not very nice. Okay, you need to take a second to calm down before you deal with a problem. Okay, which is what we'll work on today. And there's one more that I want to go over. There is only one right answer in a conflict.
Wait. Ow.
I'm just smiling. Okay, for those of you that said false, that is correct. Okay, there are many ways to solve conflict. Okay, there's many answers. Okay, maybe not all the time. Okay, especially if you're arguing like maybe about a school rule or something like that. There's really only one right answer, right? For rules. Okay, but a lot of the times there are many ways to solve a conflict, and there are many answers. Okay, so we're gonna practice today with I feel statements. Okay, so if you are ever feeling angry or if you're frustrated, you need to make sure that the other person knows, or the other group knows, or whoever you're working with. So we can practice that by saying, I feel, and your emotion, when you do whatever. So for example, let's say that I'm playing basketball out in the gym. Okay, and a kid keeps coming up and taking the basketball away from me. So then I have to keep chasing them until I get the ball back. I could walk up to that student and say, I feel frustrated when you keep taking the ball from me. Could you please stop? Okay, that's a solution, right? Maybe they think it's a game, okay, but you're really getting frustrated. Okay, I know it's kind of a silly scenario, but it works. Yeah?
I like to yell and stuff, but I'll cancel
Okay. Do you think yelling is going to be the best way to deal with conflict? Probably not, right? That's probably a situation where you need to go calm down first before you address the problem. Does that make sense? Okay, so we're going to practice with just the person right next to you. I feel statements. Okay, and so I have some scenarios. So we'll just do one together as an example. It says, you wanted to be your friend's partner, but someone else asked you first. Make an I statement to share how you are feeling. So, before you guys work in partners, anybody, how can you make an I feel statement about that? No?
You could say, I feel kind of sad when you ask a friend friend to be your partner.
Okay. Very good. Anybody else have any other ideas? Yeah?
I feel frustrated when you ask my friend to be his partner.
Yeah. And then you can even say, because I wanted to be the partner first, right? You can say your own opinion, and you can say what's really making you need a scenario. So just whoever's beside you. So if you two are going to be partners, you two are going to be. That didn't work very well. And then you two are going to be partners. Okay. And think of I feel statements. I feel statements. Same thing.
I feel mad. I play jump ropes. I feel frustrated. You choose someone
What do you say an emotion?
before
What
I
emotion?
even get there. Can you please look toward the end next time?
Okay. You said how you felt, so the partner or whoever you're working with knows how you feel. Okay. Now, you need to know how to have healthy responses to conflict. So, for example, you could take a moment to calm your body and your mind before discussing the conflict. Okay. If you're really amped up and you're really angry, you need to take a second to walk away maybe and leave the situation to cool off. Okay, because nothing good ever comes out of getting angry and then yelling at somebody. Okay? Yeah, see, that would not be good. So, it's healthy to take a second and calm down. You need to be willing to discuss the issue. This is a huge one, and this is something that a lot of adults even have a hard time doing. Okay, sometimes you don't want to feel like you're wrong, right? I don't think anybody wants to be proven that they're wrong. Okay, but sometimes you need to be at least willing to listen to another argument. Okay, they need to know how you feel because sometimes they might not know. You need to listen to the other person's point of view. Okay, so maybe a situation was making you angry, but for another person, they were just trying to get what they wanted. Everybody wants to get what they want, right? But that's not always the case. You can't always do that. And then you also need to be willing to find a compromise and find a solution that works for everyone. Okay, now let's talk about unhealthy reactions. Mel, can you wait for the end for questions? Okay, so unhealthy responses to conflict. Avoiding it completely. Pretending like it's not there. Okay, you cannot do that. That's not healthy. If there is some kind of conflict, you need to deal with it in some kind of way. Okay? Ignoring, shaming, or rejecting the person. Okay, so let's say you get in an argument with your best friend. Okay? If you ignore them completely, or if you start bullying them, is that the right answer? Or if you go to your other friend and start talking about them, is that the right answer? No, never. Okay, that's an unhealthy way to deal with conflict. It's definitely not healthy to explode with anger or use some kind of violence. And definitely, you don't need to demand, well, I want it this way, so this is how it's going to go. Okay, that's definitely not going to work out how you want it to. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to look at some cards and we're going to figure out if they should go in a healthy pile or unhealthy pile. Okay, so we'll just pretend, actually, you know what, we can just rip this page in half.
No.
And we'll put them in stacks. It's okay. Okay, so this is the unhealthy pile, this is the healthy pile. So we're gonna read a scenario and then put your thumbs up if it's healthy, put your thumbs down if it's unhealthy. Tell everyone else what the person did to you. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Ding, 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 ding.
Tell everyone else what the person did to you.
No. Ding, 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 ding.
Okay, the only people you should be talking to if you have a problem is a teacher or a counselor or your parents.
Or an adult.
Okay,
that
you
you know.
really shouldn't be telling other business, especially if it has to do with friends, to other people. Okay, because that's kind of like you're spreading rumors, right? That is unhealthy. Okay, what about keep the issue between you and the other person without involving others when possible? Okay, good. When it says when possible, okay, just like I said, you need to talk to a teacher or talk to a counselor if it's getting out of hand. Okay, is it healthy or unhealthy to ignore the person even when they talk to you?
Healthy, I mean unhealthy.
That's not
Thumbs up,
sister
thumbs down, I don't need words. Okay, this one is unhealthy. You don't, maybe when you're first angry with them, it's okay to just let it be for a second and not talk to the person, but after you cool down, you need to give them a chance. Okay? Be willing to talk when someone else approaches you about an issue. Is that healthy or unhealthy?
Wait, depending on who it is.
So, let's just say anybody. You need to be willing to talk to any person about an issue. I'm not talking like strangers here.
I don't
Okay, this
talk to your
one
friends about it.
is healthy. You need to be willing to talk to somebody, okay? You can't just be closed off. You gotta be open-minded. And we'll do one more. Yell to make sure the other person hears you and listens.
Yup.
Take it
All
seriously,
day.
boys. Okay, yes, that is unhealthy. Okay, it's not okay to yell. Ever.
You said that was
really.
the last one.
We are going to read some scenarios once again with partners, okay? And you guys are going to figure out a solution to the problem, okay? So maybe you need to come up with an I feel statement, okay? Or maybe you need to figure out some way to fix the problem. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, and then tell me how you guys came up with a solution.
We didn't come up with a solution. We just
Did you
Solve
talk about I feel statements? Okay, well then share about that.
Alright.
Okay, does anybody want to go first?
No.
Okay.
I felt kind of mad when we ran for student council president because I was running first and I was winning.
Okay, very nice. So you came up with an I feel statement. That's pretty relatable, right? Because you guys all are in 4th grade, so you guys had to run for student council. Did any of you guys run for student council?
I try to do it.
Okay. Okay. So how did that make you feel? Or did you say I feel statements when that happened?
I didn't see how many scores. I didn't see a score I got.
Okay.
I wanted to do student council, or I wanted to do student council, but I couldn't have it because my mom don't have a car. That was hers.
Okay.
I didn't. I figured out I want to play at recess. You want to play exactly. You want to comic books. Share how you feel. Watch your friends' feelings and bring some.
Okay.
That was, I did feel kind of sad. So how about we put half of the recess reading comic books and then the other half in the cat.
Good. So you guys came up with a compromise, right? So one person wanted to do one thing, the other person wanted to do another. So if you split your time in half, then you guys both get what you want. Good.
I because you wanted to be team captain, but the other person claimed that even though he or she has been the team captain 3 times in a row, share how you feel, blah blah blah.
Okay, so that's kind of relatable, right? Don't you guys have team captains when you pick at recess? So
Yeah.
how would you guys deal with that?
It's usually the first one who calls it, but sometimes people call it at the same time. Sometimes I like to listen or talks with the song.
Okay, so you came up with a method to make sure that there's not a conflict, right? What happens if the same person keeps calling it first? How would you deal with that?
Usually, they call it whenever, like if there's 3 people that call it,
Uh-huh.
usually the third one usually doesn't do it.
So just the third, okay, so you need 2 team captains, so just the third one is knocked out for that time?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, does anybody else, after reading those situations, did you think of any other situations that might be happening with you or that you've seen in the past? And how you could maybe deal with them differently? Jaden?
Me and my sister were fighting, and she slammed my head into the wall.
Oh my. Okay,
So-
did you do anything back to her? Not at all? You
Oh,
just let her slam your head?
Other than a little bit of a push.
A little bit of a push. Okay. So has this happened with any of you other guys, or girls and guys? getting into a fight with your sister or brother.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so,
So-
we went to each other's room.
Okay.
To our room, and we just stayed there for half an hour or so.
Okay. So how do you think you could have dealt with that situation a little bit different?
And sorry.
You could have said sorry. Maybe could you have told your sister an I feel statement first
Yeah.
before it escalated? Okay, because then she'd have an opportunity to say her side of the story too, and then maybe you could have solved the problem a little bit differently. So I have one more little test, I guess you could say. And after talking today, I want you to fill this out. So if you think, maybe I can deal with situations a little bit differently now, I want you to rate your feelings. So this is like a sad face, like this is saying like no, in the middle, yes. Okay, they're just emojis instead of
What if
no,
we
in the
circle
middle.
all three?
You only circle one for each situation. Okay, so put your name on it. And then circle the emoji that best fits how you are feeling. And then I'll take your scenario.